Hi guys and welcome back, and if you're new here, my name's Emma, or Emily, who's to say, and in this video I'm going to finally be reading Twilight. I just hit myself. If you don't know, Midnight Sun is coming out in August. Chandler Ainsley and Kat from Paperback Dreams and another person who I don't know are sort of hosting a read-along live show sort of thing, and every 3 weeks they're going to be reading one of the books and there will be a live show where we can all talk about it. And I figured that this was a better time than ever, I guess, to finally read the Twilight series. Did I grab the wrong book? Okay, I am so sorry. I just realized I grabbed New Moon instead of Twilight. How I didn't notice that? I think this is a good time to read it too because I'll be able to see the live shows and what other people thought, things like that. What I think is really funny is that I kind of wanted to start reading this earlier this year. I was like, you know what? I never thought I was gonna read Twilight ever, but now I kind of want to. Like, maybe I should just go for it, you know? And then she announced Midnight Sun coming out and everyone was like, Twilight! And I was like, and the exact same thing happened with the Percy Jackson series. I finally read the Percy Jackson series. I had been wanting to for a while, and I got them, and I read them, and then, like, a couple days after I posted that video, they announced that they were, making a new show on Disney Plus or something like that for the Percy Jackson series, and I was like, and now everyone's freaking talking about it. How did I do this? Like, how, what? I feel kind of psychic. Anyways, there is going to be a live show on the 24th, and today is the 15th, and so I don't think it's gonna take me like over a week to finish reading this, but I want to get started just in case I get distracted by something else, and also I tend to read multiple books at the same time, so if I'm not like consistently just reading this book, you know? I've seen the movies multiple times, I've loved them. I just really like the movies, okay? I don't know if that's like a popular opinion, unpopular opinion, I don't know. Not that they're great movies, but they're entertaining. And my mom and my sister have both read the series before, the saga, so I feel a little left out. I can do this, I lied to myself feebly. No one was going to bite me. And like, I get the joke, you know, whatever, but it wasn't even done well. Like, that's not how people generally say the phrase. They usually say, like, I don't bite, or she doesn't bite, or like something. Dude, stop. So she could have said, they won't bite or they don't bite, but she said it in a weird ass way. Okay, so obviously I don't know what the rest of the book entails, but I think I've just found my favorite part when she's just rejected Tyler after rejecting Eric, and before that rejecting Mike. And she like looks into Edward's, or she can see that Edward's looking at her in his rearview mirror, and that he's like shaking with laughter. And I was just like, oh my god, that's hilarious. And I wish that had been more of a thing in the movies, because I don't remember anything like that in the movies. Like, I vaguely remember them standing by the school buses and him kind of like looking down, but I don't remember him like smiling or laughing or anything. Okay, so far my only complaint really is that I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Jacob. I'm confused. Can I sit you down somewhere? First off, I just really didn't like that initial scene with Jacob, where she was just constantly like, my flirting sucks and I'm trying so hard to flirt with him, but he just like fawns over me anyways, and it's like, I don't care. And it was just awkward to read, and it was also very confusing because part of the time she was like, I felt bad for using him, but she was also like feeling like giddy or whatever. And then later she's in the forest, she talks about like whenever she thought about the thing that she was, when she and Edward were gonna go to Seattle next weekend, whenever she thought about that, her like she would get like flutters up her spine or tingles or something like that. But then she was like, the same feeling that I got with Jacob. And I was like, also, I'm just now realizing that we're not gonna get to that weekend where they go to Seattle, because that's the day of the dance. Unless the book is like totally different from the movie, I don't think we're gonna get that, which makes me kind of sad because I was like excited to see them go on a road trip. But I guess they get into a relationship way quicker than I thought. Maybe he ends up taking her to the prom in the book? I don't know. Okay, so I've been hanging out with my little sister like all day, but we were, like, she was watching a documentary and I was reading. That's not great. Okay, I'm on page 278. I don't know when the last time I talked to you was. Let me put in my bookmarks so I don't lose my place. Still confused about the Jacob thing, but like, she obviously likes Edward, but you know. Him like following her, kind of creepy, but I feel like I understand, I guess. Like, he feels like he needs to be there for her in a way, I guess, and like needs to protect her. Like, I get that, I guess, but still kind of like weird, you know? Oh, I'm wondering one thing. So Bella has mentioned depression a couple times, but I can't tell if Bella is suicidal or just really freaking sarcastic. Because she'll like, and I mean, I think I know that it's just her being sarcastic because my head was spinning at the rapid change in direction our conversation had taken from the cheerful topic of my impending demise. We were suddenly declaring ourselves. And she's done the same thing where it's like, we moved from the topic, like the happy topic of me dying to some other topic, you know? And I'm like, is she just like really, really sarcastic? I mean, I guess, is she just sarcastic about that? Or is she like actually kind of suicidal? So that's one thing I'm kind of wondering. Another thing is that I've realized a little bit what people mean about the writing. Because before I was like, I mean, there are some ways that she's phrased things that doesn't work. You know, the sentence structure is a little bit like whack sometimes. But overall, I haven't noticed anything too bad. Like, I mean, there has been like some cringe parts too, but I feel like you kind of get that in teen romances, you know? People cringe in real life. It's a thing. But I finally realized why it's been so difficult to read, because I've been loving it. I've been enjoying it a lot and enjoying reading it, but there are some times where I'm just like really confused and I'm not getting things, and I finally realized that I don't know how many times it happens in the book, but I think just sometimes she uses words wrong. I do that a lot too. Like, if you've seen The Goonies, I'm basically Mikey, but but she used the word qualified instead of clarified in one instance, and I was like, that's not the right word, right? And I like looked up to see if qualified had like different definitions, and it doesn't, and I was just really confused because I was like, that word just does not make sense in this sentence. It doesn't. So I'm wondering if like part of the bad writing is just that her vocab is fucking whack, because there were a couple other instances where I was like, I don't know if I would have used that word. So it's just kind of weird. First published in hardcover in October 2005. So I was 4 years old when this came out. 2 months away from being 5, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, there have been some things that I thought were interesting. Edward says, like, your thoughts are on an AM frequency and I'm only getting FM. When he's talking like he can't read her mind. And I was like, that's funny. You know, I just thought that comparison was funny. Oh, about the assault scene, when he saves her, basically. I thought that scene was written well in a way that, like, I felt the fear. I was afraid. I thought that was written well enough, you know, to, like, feel real enough. I'm at the point where they're in the meadow and they're talking, and he's, like, sniffed her neck. I'm, like, kind of confused because a lot of what is being said, it seems like Edward's so beautiful. He's fucking hot, you know? Gorgeous, whatever. Greek god, the like. It almost just sounds like that's the only reason she likes him. Obviously, there's some chemistry there. There's, like, banter and stuff like that and talking about books and music and stuff. So there's that connection. But I also am kind of just like, Is their only connection just that he's like really, really hot and that she smells good? Like, you know how in the movies, this really hot guy, you know, and then there'll be this one girl who's like, I'm not interested, and then he's like, what? And then he's like, okay, I like you now. And like just from her lack of interest almost. And I'm wondering if it's like that with Edward, because he can't read her mind, you know? I don't know. I think what's confusing me the most is just how different it is from the movie. Because in the beginning, what was spoken was pretty similar to like the introductory monologue in the movie, you know, from Bella. And so I was just surprised that like so much was different. Okay, we're gonna see if this works. I'm balancing you on my pillow. I'm currently on page 328. I shuddered, or he shuddered, or like I suppressed a shudder or something like that. It's been said so many times. I'm dying. Not really, but you know. And then in my head I was like, dude, just use another word. And I feel like it's said a lot in books in general, you know? And like, just use a different word. And in my head, I was like, just use shivered for all I fucking care. And then right after I said that, on the next page, Bella thinks, or it's written, I shivered. And I was like, nope, that's not better. I really hope there is still a baseball scene, because if there's not, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed. Okay, the lighting literally sucks. I am very, very orange. Anyways, I am on page 442. So we have like, the birds are so loud. So I have like 50-ish pages left. So she's just ditched them at the airport and she's at her house now, and she's actually like just hung up on the phone with James, and he's like, I'll see you in a sec, because it's right around the corner. Yeah. It's very interesting. I do have a question though. So, like, obviously I understand why Alice can see Bella's future, because Alice can just sort of like see the future, you know? But how come Jasper can change her emotions if Edward can't read her mind? And like, Arrow later on in the series can't like read her memories or whatever he does. And then that one chick can't like zap her, you know? So like, how come Jasper, like, does she not block everything? Or is it just like a totally different sort of thing? Okay, those birds are really starting to get on my nerves. Is it just me, or were their eyes in the first movie not red? Right? Like, I don't remember them being red. Maybe they were just like a really dark red, like a different kind of red, because in the later movies it's like red. Oh my god, is it Alice? Okay. I'm on chapter 24, like the first page. And, so like, the whole Alice story, just, and he just sucked the venom out of her. And two things. One, I liked it in the movie better. He said he can taste the morphine. So I'm wondering if I missed something earlier where Carlisle, like, had morphine handy and, like, stuck her with morphine, or if like the vampire venom tastes like morphine or something. I don't know. But I do like the scene in the movie better because it shows him struggling too, you know? Like how he's almost like sucking too much blood out of her instead of just like sucking it all out and being like, yep, she's good. No shit. No. Dude, that's dangerous. What? She's 17. She can maybe date a guy. Hot take. Just close your goddamn eyes. How does she not know she's going to prom? Oh my god. It's still light out? Yeah, people can have their own opinions, Edward. Oh my god. It got so much better. Wow, I'm tired. I really did enjoy it. Did she basically swallow a thesaurus? Yes. Did she also forget a lot of the definitions from the thesaurus? Yes. But I still liked it. It wasn't great. There was a lot that was like... My camera's beeping at me, so I'll talk to you tomorrow and give you my final thoughts. So like, yeah. Good night. So, it's been almost a week since I finished Twilight. I ended up giving Twilight 4 stars, and it's more like, if I'm being really honest with myself, it's more like a 3.5, 3.75. I really enjoyed the story. I think that there are definitely some problems, such as codependency and Edward just being really controlling. It was good enough that I was at least still interested in the story and that it made me feel things, you know? Like, her writing had to be doing something right in order to make me, like, happy or something like that. I also rolled my eyes a lot. There were still some good things in here, you know? I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought that, which I don't know why I was so surprised, because I love the movies. I really do. I think they're really entertaining. I just realized I still haven't watched it. I was totally going to watch it after I finished reading this, and then I just forgot. We're doing that later today. That is happening. I thought that there were too many big words in here in order to make the character seem smarter in a way. But it's just kind of like... Also, she's way too clumsy. Like, I'm clumsy. I consistently have bruises all over me. But like, this is another level of clumsy. It seemed very strange that it was like, she's a klutz, that's why I have to protect her, you know? That's why these like 3-4 guys cornered her and harassed her. Such a ditz. She's like tripping all over herself. That's not how it works, okay? How did she get herself in that situation? Other than going off on her own? I don't see how she did that to herself. So things like that, where that was kind of like the reasoning behind it, whereas like maybe she just like somehow attracts danger, which like sure, whatever, but don't make it like she's a klutz. I think my favorite parts were the times when the other guys were involved, like when Tyler gets out of his car after Edward like blocks Bella in and he asks her to the spring formal or whatever, and she's like, no. And then I don't know if it was him or if it was one of the guys before. She's like, I'm going out of town that weekend. And he was like, Oh, yeah, I thought you were just saying that so you didn't hurt Mike's feelings or something like that, or Eric's, I don't know, one of them, and that you actually wanted to go with me. First off, why would you just assume that? Second off, it's still a girl's choice like Sadie Hawkins dance. So if you thought that was her plan, why'd you ask her? If you thought she was gonna ask you, why'd you ask her? I just saw something I wrote. It's on, I don't know if the pages match up, but it's on page 464. And, "Don't leave me," I cried, an irrational surge of panic flooding through me. I couldn't let him go. He might disappear from me again. And then I wrote, "That's next book, bitch." Maybe I'll wear this shirt at the end of all my videos, or at the beginning, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I ever explained this shirt. I think it was my older sister's or something. She got it probably when like the movies came out. This probably wasn't out for the books. Yeah, this is honestly one of the comfiest shirts I own. And so I was thinking about it and I was like, I should totally wear this for this video. Yeah, so that was me reading Twilight. I really enjoyed it overall. I thought the story was good enough, you know, it was great, it was interesting, and it was just really funny, honestly. I really enjoyed it. I liked how different it is from the movie, because even though a lot of times I want the movies to be exactly the same as the books so that I can see my books come to life, it's also kind of fun, especially if you're reading the book after you've seen the movies, to get added story. Yeah, so I'm really happy that I read this, and I'm nervous but also excited for New Moon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give this video a like and comment if you had similar reactions. Let me know what you guys think of Twilight, if you've read it or if you want to read it. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing day. Bye. Why do I keep doing that?